Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the World Electronic Sports Games. I thought it was Cyber Games for some reason, but no, it's Sports Games. WESG 2019 qualifiers. Two players who you may have heard of in the past. AKA, if you have ever watched an international level StarCraft tournament, if you haven't heard of them, you don't have ears. Or can read. You know what I mean. In the bottom right, from Team Chivo, soO. And in the top left, the man who most would have called the best Terran of 2018. Not doing as great in 2019, but we have a whole new patch, and it's a whole new chance for Jin Green Wings Maru. The man who has dodged Serral for several years now in that match. For all of 2018, like, Maru versus Serral, we're gonna see it. And then Maru just keeps losing to Protosses in the group stages of things. Well, there's no Protoss in this match, so we'll have to see. Jimmy! Thank you. Much better. He's had a kind of a rough 2019. He hasn't done bad. By Maru standards, he's done pretty poorly. But by anyone else's standards, he's done fine. Okay, getting to BlizzCon and all that, but by Maru standards, it's been a pretty rough year. It is a best of 3 here. Thank you to Wardy for sending out those matches for us to enjoy. I mean, Maru versus soO, come on. Terran versus Zerg. I'm excited. Like, a lot of players, the later game meta has shifted a lot, where it's a lot more focus on lurkers, less on broodlords. Thors are mixed in. There's been a resurgence of mech for Terran, because Thors, with their increased attack speed, single target air for things like broodlords and stuff like that. Like, Thors have become a menace. A menace! I will say it. And the Infestor being neutered a little bit, but we'll have to see. A couple queens on the way. So far, a textbook opener, soO with a quicker third. Hasn't opted for Zergling speed. There it is. But he went third before Zergling speed, so a little on the greedier side. The Reaper Micro, on point as always. If he loses this Reaper, I'm going to look dumb. Go get him. Oh my god. Really? Calm down. There will be a creep tumor at the start. Maru kind of missing an opportunity on that. Another thing that changed with the patch. Creep tumors can no longer be canceled, including the ones that are spreading. Before, the creep tumors you plop down, those ones couldn't be canceled. Once you plop them down, the energy's gone. But when this creep tumor spreads, it can no longer be canceled. The creep has spread. Period. No Control Z on that. So from Maru, we have a 1-1-1. Got a barracks, got a factory, got a starport. Now the question will be, will there be a fusion core? It's time for Battlecruiser! No, obviously Winter, it's for ranged liberate. No, it is not. It is not for ranged lit. It is for a Battlecruiser opener, which, despite some slight nerf to Battlecruiser in taking a second to tactical jump out and all that, the Battlecruiser is still a mainstay of early game ZBT. Viking on the way. Will the Overlord? It will see the fusion core. Despite seeing the upgrading on the tech lab, he's gonna know. He saw something building. Maru tried to feed him the information on Cloak, but I'm kind of surprised Maru put it here as opposed to in the corner. He might have been able to get that little bit of ambiguity, I think is the actual word, but where it's a tech lab starport. It could be building almost literally anything. But he put the fusion core right next to the starport, which soO can do that math. soO knows. All right, he's a pretty smart guy. Third command center. It's a macro cruiser, which is, if you 2 years ago, if you had asked like maybe 3 years ago, people were clamoring, like, every time somebody built a battlecruiser or a nuclear missile, it was a miracle. It's like, oh my god, and then they would die because that's not a good build. But nowadays, battlecruiser is like 40% of the time in TVZ, the opener. Late game is heavy on the nuclear missiles. We've seen over 100 before, several times. Innovation versus Cyril. Maru also a big fan of the mass nuke style. He does it against Protoss. Maru just full YOLO sometimes. That is kind of the way Maru do. But it's Duncan time. Who called? In the fleet. The Hellions coming through. Looking for the drones. The roasting will begin. One queen going down. The battlecruiser jumped on top. 5 drones. The Hellions going to get out. The battlecruiser going to slide on by. Brenda and her knitting crew going to try to chase it down, but off a creep. Good luck with that. Spire is the start. So soO went for a quick lair, recognizing the only real direct counter. You can poke and prod at that flying laser bathtub, but at the end of the day, Corruptors are the only direct counter to battlecruisers. Hydras aren't going to cut it. Queens, not going to cut it. Corruptors, designed to deal with massive units in the skies, whether it be battlecruisers, carriers, your mom, broodlords, motherships, anything like that. Hellions gonna run by, expecting there not to be roaches, but guess what? Oh wait, 3 Hellions! Oh! What was that noise I just made? The same noise the drones did as they died. Oh my god, he's lining them up! He's lining them up! What, soO? Come on! What are you doing? That was so bad! Well, he knows better than that. Come on, that's the oldest mistake. Like, he just had them all stacked up. You can't line them up like that. 14 drones go down to the afterthought Hellions. He does scout the Spire, but the Spire is not unexpected in the first place. It's going to be mech behind this, but not Cyclone mech. It's going to be some tanks on the way. He's not upgrading mag field accelerator for the Cyclone, so that indicates he doesn't want to switch. Sometimes you'll get a couple tanks just to make sure you don't die to roaches, but guess what? He's not adding... Oh my god. Build the wall. Keep the Zerg out. The Zerg aren't sending their best. They're sending their roaches. They're sending their Corruptors. The wall won't help against Corruptors. Not relevant. Wait, what if they fly over the wall? We didn't think about that. We need to build the wall at least however high up a battlecruiser is higher. Speaking of battlecruisers, the Corruptors and Queens chasing him down. One of them more effective than the others. A Yamato comes out, but you gotta jump! You gotta be careful about that. Couple extra shots. The Corruptors are looking for those battlecruisers, but the TPM is just high enough. Look at this setup from Maru. Maru ain't screwing around. The thing is, none of the tanks are quite close enough to the mineral line at the third. So he spots there's no army coming from the other angle, but guess what? He doesn't need to scan the spot where the rest of the roaches and ravagers are. He's going straight for it. The Corruptor looking for the orbital itself. soO, he's really leaning on this. There are no upgrades for either side. 1-1 just started up, plus 2 Evo chambers on the way. soO's trying to break through, but that's 4 tanks in the back line. A little bit more ambitious. He bit off too much. Maru does not repairing his command center. Some Yamato cannons coming out. Another round of corrosive bile, bringing that command center generally, well, dangerously low. Not generally low. I guess generally low, but mostly dangerous. This is about that mid-game timing. Both sides have a good economy. Ooh. Both sides have a good economy, but they don't have the upgrades. So we're brawling it out, but I think we're about out of steam here. soO pulling back this pathing. Apple maps. Rest in pieces, roaches. Oh, okay. They're out of here. So while Maru... Let's look at the units lost here. soO lost a little more. He lost 14 roaches to some big valleys. He's only killed really Hellions. A single tank. The battlecruiser is still intact, and those are very important defensively against, like, the Roach Ravager. Make it really cost soO to do the damage. The Vendaya scan, you can tell he does not want to get caught off guard. Now, 155, Maru has focused on putting his units on the field before getting too much infrastructure. Like, he's been working off of 3 factories and 1 starport. He's continually incrementing out. 4 battlecruisers are nothing to sneeze at, or in the general direction of, or give away your location, because 4 battlecruisers are just raining down laser hellfire. Corruptors are good, but he only has 10 corruptors, which at this point, with 4 Yamatos and a volley, not going to be enough. Hellions making their way by into the third. Going to spot the Evo chambers. Is Blue Flame done? It is not. He's 3/4 of the way there, but might as well get the damage done now. soO is at 73 workers and dropping, whereas Maru's at 85, pulling a little bit of a TY. The Queens are getting away to the Ravager! Traffic down! This wall does not work so great. A surprising amount of roasting, but a first volley of Locusts across the map. And 12 drones went down. He's going to want to replace some of those. soO, now when you have swarm hosts, that is pretty heavy on the supply. Those swarm hosts only have about 30-40% uptime. Of course, they're valuable and they recharge and they pay for themselves pretty quick. But you don't want to have too many drones when you have swarm hosts, because otherwise your army supply is simply too low. Yamatos from downtown knock out the corruptors. Another round. That corruptor count a little bit higher than it was. He jumps. Not very far, but far enough. The swarm hosts are ready for another wave. +2 is on the way. 1-1 is done for soO. He just now starts his 2-2. The Hellbats and the Battlecruisers helping out here. Thors are here. Another Yamato. How many corruptors? 8 corruptors have gone down. Every Battlecruiser has lived. Maru is maxed. There's no reason not to attack. Hive just now starting. Thor's pounding into the corruptors. The battlecruisers might have air superiority by the end of this. Ravagers doing their best. There is +1 armor. No upgrades on the corruptors. Another round of locusts coming through. There are plenty of corruptors. I take it all back. In fact, Maru's going to be forced back. A lot of losses from soO, though. He lost a lot here. He killed the battlecruisers. He's going to be able to recharge. Maru actually has a better economy. How many production facilities? He's only at 5, and he agrees that is not enough. The mechanical industrial complex must grow. More command centers on the way. He literally can't spend his money. soO, on the other hand, back at 200 supply. Did he lose swarm hosts? He lost 10 swarm hosts in that last exchange. I don't think this command center is going to make it. He caustic sprays. That SCV decides to call it quits. 3 battlecruisers still. How many did he lose? He lost 3, but he rebuilt some. Yamato's all over. He was targeting the swarm host before as well. The corruptor count's only at 11, which is precarious when Thors and Yamato are involved. Scans the swarm host. soO finishing up a hive. +2 on the way. Greater Spire. Baneling speed, which indicates he wants to just bust through this. If you're gonna pick a hill to die on, the 4th base isn't a bad choice. But the Locusts are heading out towards the 3rd. Battlecruisers jump back, away from the Corruptors. 1 tank goes down to that entire valley. A little bit of a waste of supply from soO. He's going to be looking for more than that. Another base. Maru is flanking Overlords with turrets. He doesn't have high-sec auto-tracking yet. He hasn't put those turret men out of their jobs. In the center, Thors and tanks. Maru's nearly maxed out again. He's working on 3-3. 2-2 is done. There's no reason not to push when you're maxed. Otherwise, you're just going to be weathering wave after wave of those Locusts, and eventually Broodlords. The Thor count. We're at 3 Thors with 1 more in production. A little on the low side, in my opinion. Maru has 85 SCVs, which is cutting into his potential supply. Locusts use a wave. Deny the base. It lifts up in time. Hellions working through the creep tumors. Triton, not the largest map. The creep pushes across. We're almost ready to draw a line in the sand. Or the snow, or whatever this is. You get a line in the middle of the map. Hellions working their way through. soO has a lot of money in the bank. He scans. Spawns soO moving to intercept. Meanwhile, the tanks are sieging up for an actual attack on this base. Thor's underneath. Yamato cannon. The Corruptors are on the chase. The jump doesn't come through. Are there any Broodlords? He starts building Broodlords. Roaches and Ravagers, Corrosive Bile Volley coming across the board. Banelings in the front, not really connecting with the Hellbats. Maru still has a strong position. Loses the back line of tanks. Broodlords in the mail, but a few more seconds until they're delivered. Are there any Yamatos? No. How many Thors? The Broodlords are done. Maru will back off for now. He's got to be careful. He can't overstay his welcome. He still has plenty of supply. He's building tanks and Hellbats, which means he seems to be comfortable with his counter to the Broodlords right now. We'll see if that's the right decision. Because there are 7 Broodlords out. They don't have any attack upgrades, and there are no melee upgrades on the ground. So the Broodlords are not actually that huge of a deal. The biggest deal is friendly fire from siege tanks. If you don't target your tanks while Broodlings and Locusts are raining down, then they start hurting your own units more than the enemy does. Now, Maru pushed back against his planetary. He's going to draw the line here, and no further. The Queen's in the back. The Thor's pounding. Brenda and her knitting crew trying to keep things together. But a few Queens will go down. Is Yamato ready? From downtown. Fires a shot. Takes out a Broodlord. Maru holding on. Holding strongly at his 5th base. Well, 4th, 5th, whatever. Outlying base. Corruptor's on the chase. 1 battlecruiser. Strong gust of wind. We'll take it out. A Corruptor does the job. Maru continually. He's producing 5 Thors at a time. He's starting to realize the imperative need for anti-air. The battlecruiser's covering some sort of retreat here, but there's another round of Locusts. Tank siege up. So many units raining down. soO trying to break through. Maru dipping in supply, but so is soO. The planetary helping out against the Broodlings. Units on both sides thinning out. soO forced back. Maru doesn't have a bank. soO does. What does he decide to rebuild? Battlecruisers finding some more opportunities. Will he upgrade ship weapons soon? Smart servos is on the way. Honestly, the Thor splash damage mode is better against Locusts in the air, whereas the single target is better against Broodlords, so being able to switch in between them will be a pretty cool move. Maru is remaxed. He's building 5 more SCVs. The Hellbats are going to try to tank it. That's 3-3 mech. Good luck breaking through that armor. soO has rebuilt. He just doesn't really have the upgrades. Honestly, the best counter to Thor is Neural Parasite, because the best counter to Thor is Thor itself. He's trying to break through, but these units, they're doing so much. The tanks? Well, are there any tanks? There are no tanks. The Thors are holding the line. Not even one dies. soO has to pull back. An entire Locust wave, taking out barely anything. Maru is tearing through the creep. The Broodlord's trying to flank. +3 Carapace about to complete, but the Broodlords have to get in Thor range, and they're having a bad time of it. 11 more drones go down. He's down to 42 drones. soO, out of gas, literally and possibly figuratively. Roaches and Ravagers just not cutting it. Maru making it happen. Pounding through everything on the ground. A wave of Locusts. soO already at 130 supply. Maru barely dutching below 200. But the Roaches and Ravagers are starting to break through the front line. A couple Broods at the back, but there they go to the Yamato cannons and the Thors. Around a Zergling's gonna cover. And it looks like Maru will be cleaned up. soO will hold, but at what cost? He's still got Swarm House. Maru still mining with 87 SCVs. His army supply only 69. Nice. But 102 army supply for soO. But what is he going to do with it? Where's he going to go? Where can he attack? He's not rebuilding drones. He barely has any hatcheries. The only reliable way I've seen to stop those Thors is with Neural Parasite. To turn them on one another. 4 more Thors on the way. He's going to be up to 9. Will the planetary go down? There's no building armor yet, but I'm not even sure it lost more than green HP. It appears Maru in a commanding position to take game number 1. You're on Triton. holding the line with mech where he needs to. That's several Broodlords, but without the attack upgrades, the big guns are whipped out. And let's see what happens to the Broodlords. They're microing back. The Thor is ready to pound its way forward. The Broodlords evaporating. Corrosive Vial, nothing in the face of Thor's hammers. A round of Locusts. He's throwing everything he's got. He's flinging the Broodlings. He's throwing the Locust. He's chucking the Corrosive Vial. He's spitting the acid. And at the end of the day, soO barely holds. But once again, at what cost? The Hellions are in the base. Maru's economy is essentially untouched, while soO is very, very touched, but not in a good way. He's at 31 drones. You don't want to be making drones at 20 minutes in at 130 supply. The Hellions are looking for an opportunity. Honestly, Maru can take a lot of hits before this matters. The Locusts, one set will land. Maybe one Thor will die. The Planetary falls. soO trying to hold. Lings, one Blue Flame Hellbat can probably handle all of those Lings on its own. It's really actually that good, especially since the Lings don't have... They have +1 attack and no adrenal glands. Thors are slowly lumbering across. It is, they're pretty heavy with all those big choices of armament. And also their big, huge cannons. And any moment now. One Thor gonna get taken out, but at what cost? There were more where that came from. Game number 1 is gonna be going for Maru. There's nothing left to stop him. How long on Locust? Another 15 seconds or so. Maru takes it. But that's only the first game. It is a best of 3. There's a reason we play series in StarCraft. We gotta determine who truly is the best player. Still, a very confident performance from Maru. Notice, you Terran players out there, notice how he set up his third. He said, as long as you can't get close, keep him at arm's length. Hold him out, stiff arm. And it worked out. But in game number 2, what map are we going to? Jimmy? Simulacrum. Creme de la creme. No. But hopefully while we're loading it up, smash that like button. It actually helps. YouTube does the analytics stuff. I'm just gonna say numbers, algorithm, smash, subscribe. Nailed it. Hop in. You can read names, you can figure it out. This is the dramatic Zerg music. Okay, that's a little much, Jimmy. Calm it down. Does that bode well for soO? I don't know. Is it unrelated and coincidental? Who knows? Already something crazy is happening. Look at Maru. Look at where all of his SCVs are. Are we sure this is Maru playing? They're all in his base. Interesting. What happened to the Maru I know and love, who would lose a ridiculous amount of games because he would proxy Rex way too much? What happened to you? You've changed, man. You've changed. Still has the meta, but you've changed. This is not hashtag not my Maru. I want to see mech again. This is a... I would argue this is a decent mech map. Not as good as Triton. But... I love mech, personally. Like, make StarCraft Brood War again. The one thing I don't like is the focus on the Thors being incredibly strong. Like, I feel... It's partially... Now, this is where we'll get all the comments. Blizzard. TechCom Online. They've already brought the Lurker. The Disruptor is essentially like a Reaver who doesn't... Like the son of a Reaver who doesn't like to acknowledge its parents. And from the Brood War I played and watched, I really feel like the Goliath would fit the role. The reason why the Goliath is not added is because it overlaps so much. Like, the Cyclone and the Thor both fill some of the roles the Goliath did. So, if not that, allow a Thor to have, to strap a mech unit to each one of its limbs. Alright? You should be able to have 2 legs. Alright, your leg, you should be able to strap 2 Blue Flame Hellbats onto your legs so any Zerglings get burnt away. And then you put 2 Cyclones on your arms, and you're locking on to fucking Broodlords and shit. And then you have a siege tank on your face that can, and then it can shoot while you're flying in a medevac. And that is how we balance it. Alright? Like, why not? At this point, it feels like they do that anyway, so... The Terran Tron. A planetary fortress on your face. There. Alright. And that's the noise it makes. Maybe it doesn't make that noise. I don't know. That's another thing that I really like from Brood War. And it's partially because you had to fit an entire game on something that... Now, children, listen closely. It was called a compact disc. And you might be like, well, couldn't that only fit 700 megabytes? And the answer is yes. And that's partially why the sounds for Brood War are so distinct, is because there were only so many bytes and bits. But, I mean, just one thing. All right. Keep it in your pants, everyone. Just... keep it there, unless you're a Thor, in which case you're incapable of it. But just real quick, stick with me. Since we're having a Battlecruiser opener again, but maybe with a Roach All-In. Stick with me. Whoa, the Hellions are in the main! It's a disaster! 9 drones going down, 11 drones! What? He just let them in! 15 drones! Oh. soO. soO. That's so bad. How is this happening again? Well, he's gonna all in, but there's gonna be a battlecruiser. If the battlecruiser jumps across the map, it's too busy. Pew, 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 pew. Now, has he spotted the Roach one? If the battlecruiser just jumps instead of it jumps. Okay, so wait, there's a dream. There's a dream here. He jumps away. The Hellions are looking for all of the drones. Oh my god, and they're gonna find him. Oh, he's lining them up. So soO will break through. There's literally no units at home here. We're at a base trade! Wait, there's no way for soO to win this. There's still a single battlecruiser will win this game on its own. The super cruiser. Both sides are slaughtering workers. soO is down to 5 drones. He needs to kill the starport before the second battlecruiser comes out. Mules still exist though. He's going for it. He's starting to realize if that battlecruiser comes out, I'm in so much trouble. And he's right about that. He's very right about that. The battlecruiser. No repair from Maru. He's going for it at any second. He gets it. Oh, the queen! The queens are chasing! Wait. Oh, shit. Brenda and her knitting crew are all the way across the map. The command centers are in flight. The drones have escaped, but they have literally no minerals. There's still some Hellions out here. The queens are chasing. What is happening? But the battlecruiser will eventually win the game on its own. Like I mentioned, the queen escort. Oh, we're going round the world. You always said you wanted to travel the world, Karen. Not like this, Brenda. Ah! The trans! Transfuse! Oh my god! Oh no! That was the last drone! Oh no! It's a disaster! Oh, there's no minerals. There's no minerals left. He can't even build a drone. God damn it, Karen! Can you... We had one job. Could you just put on some Bengay and hurry up? No, I can't. Hurry up. God damn it. So there's only one chance for soO here, and it's Maru really screwing this up. Maru has a lot of experience with base trading. If you remember was it WESG versus Scarlet almost a year ago now? Oh, the battlecruiser. So what soO doesn't know, what Maru doesn't know is that soO doesn't have enough minerals to build another drone. And the fact that he kept that hatchery alive means, like... But the thing is, cyclones can be built. The fact that the hatchery is still alive is important. A command center is being... Oh, the queens! Oh my god. Oh, but if you could kill the battlecruiser, it comes down to the knitting crew. There's going to be 3 cyclones. Eventually, Maru, like... Oh my god, he's dropping so many mules. He's even gonna... It will not burn today. soO is going to lose this slowly, but he's going to lose. Also, I would like to specify something. Thank you. What do I mean, thank you? No, not thank you. I was just looking at the format. Maru. Jimmy said it was a best of 3. Jimmy, you're fired. It's best of 5. It's best of 5. Because we're actually later into the qualifier. What a game, though. Oh, my God. Like, I was in the middle of describing Terran, and then things just got crazy. But can we go back to Terran? But if you're enjoying these matches, make sure to check out Wardy, who covers it all live. Twitch.tv/Wardy with 3 eyes. And you might have been like, I didn't even know there was 1 eye. Well, there are 3. W-A-R-D-I. But wait, I. Or Wardy TV on YouTube. Go check those out. If you subscribe, then you can get all the matches and then cast them on your own time. or watch me cast. But if you're enjoying my coverage, like and subscribe and ring the bell and complain about how battlecruisers are a boring unit, even though you probably made a comment 2 years ago about how battlecruisers are the most exciting thing whenever anybody happens to make one, because it almost never happened. But what the hell happened there? That last drone! I don't think it would have solved it, but the drama, the excitement. And we have more matches. No! 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 Jimmy! No, you're not. You're fired at the end of the day. No severance. You can have all the rest of the Jimmy coins. soO versus Maru. World Electronic Sports Games South Korea qualifier. Whoever gets through has a chance to make it. Oh, actually, whoever gets through this goes to WESG. Whoever loses, loses, and does not. I think there's another qualifier. They might have another chance. No. For WESG, this is for the South Korea and Mongolia region. You might be like, how many Mongolian players are in that region? And the answer is 0. But, anyways, but technically, they could participate and qualify. So, there's that. For those who don't know, World Electronic Sports, I keep saying cyber sports because it is kind of a dated organization. It is a little bit like Nation Wars, but for all esports, where each country fights for representatives and all that. And last year, the prize pool, I think first place got, was it 400,000? Or something disgusting? I believe it was Innovation who won over Cyril. Or was it? I don't know. I'm just making things up now. A lot of these things sound right, though. CV Scouts, it's going to be a hatch first. Just dips right on back, which is pretty customary. And we're on Nightshade, which is a purple map, and also has other features, but I'd say mostly it's purple. It's almost aggressively purple. It's not. But if you look at it the wrong way, it could be construed as aggressive, you know. A little bit of fancy micro from Maru. I always wonder, like, when players micro their Reaper that hard, take damage, and then have no chance of denying the first creep tumor, it feels like, just wait it out. You know when the Queen's gonna finish. Within a few seconds, you know when the Queen's gonna finish. So, why not just go for a cancel or deny on the first creep tumor? That seems way more valuable than making drones feel bad about themselves. But 1-1-1. Will it be 3 for 3 on the battlecruiser counter? Alright. Wait. Jimmy. We had 1. We're adapting here, alright? We got 2. But can I get a fusion core number 3?
Get the fuck out of here!
It's 3 for 3. So far, Maru leaning on that battlecruiser build. I don't care about whatever silly nerfs you came up with. It wasn't enough to stop Maru from wanting to go battlecruisers 100% of his WESG qualifying matches so far. Fusion core. The battlecruiser, like, you have a couple options. Either you go straight for the lair, and the Spire, or you do something like that all-in Sue did last game. Either way, here's a key point. Don't lose a bunch of drones to Hellions. Don't do it. In my professional opinion, not losing a bunch of drones to Hellions for no reason is better than losing a bunch of drones to Hellions for no reasons. I'll just go ahead, and I know it's controversial, but I'll put it out there. What you're supposed to do, everybody knows what you're supposed to do, is do anything you can to fit the narrative that Zerg is OP and Terran is impossible to win with. So let's get on board with that. It looks like this time around it's going to be a lair. There's the Roach one from soO. Actually, a little surprising he doesn't have one. Technically, you could go Ling Bane, maybe Muta, but does he know it's going to be? He has not yet sent in. Oh, don't lose a bunch of drones to goddammit! What are you doing, soO? Oh no, 10? Okay, this is like... He already had 48. Well, he has 48 after, so he was quite greedy. But wait, there's more! The flying laser bathtub has arrived. A bit of a missed target. The queens all... Dun 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 dun. Why can't... Whatever happened? Didn't we used to be able to fly, Brenda? Shh, shh, Karen, we know, you know we don't speak of this. $16 drones in a minute, but at the same time, all those drone kills happened when soO already had a pretty comfortable drone count, so it doesn't have the lasting impact that losing 10 drones with 30 drones would have. So not the end of the world here, as long as soO is able to stop the bleeding. As long as soO is able to stop the bleed. God! Oh. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, he just goes back in. Maru! Alright, this was a mistake. Like, by the third time, he decided to waffle around on it. It's like, either put some whipped cream on that, or move along with your life. That was a waffle-related joke. Didn't really land. I waffled on that joke. Two battlecruisers, looking a lot like game number 1 thus far. It's going to be mech with battlecruiser support. The Evo chambers create a... Oh my god. They don't stop, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop... Less and less being done with these Hellions each time around. So now, 16 Hellions have gone down and only 21 drones. But guess what? Two battlecruisers. The Queens desperately trying to get involved. Everybody's piling into the party. Is there a tactical jump? There is. Yamato cannon going to be used. Two Queens immediately blasted away. Maru expanding. Super interesting. Maru chooses to expand to the front base, which has a little bit more in the way of choke points, I guess. He's got a high ground to work with. Okay, that was maybe a little quick on the trigger finger with the cancel there. What? Battlecruiser just kind of still going. All right. Oh, he's trying too hard to target fire. He does get a queen. And some more drones. The battlecruiser just kind of cruising. Is there even a spire? There is a spire. Where are the corruptors? I don't know. But anyways, the result is Maru now has 75 workers. And soO only has 66. Which is less. So the problem here is there are 3 battlecruisers and 4 queens. Oh. Immediately fires. There need to be corruptors. soO needs to build corruptors. He is not building corruptors. Which is... He needs to build not roaches. soO! Or infestors for neural parasite. But either way, not roaches and swarm house. Because he will never accomplish... Whoop. He needs to build... You're not going to counter battlecruisers with queens. soO says, watch me. And I would be happy to be wrong. Okay? Prove me wrong, soO. Here come the swarm hosts. There's not that much for Maru here, to be honest. On the ground, besides the battlecruisers. Vandaya scan. Making sure. Oh, that creep tumor barely lived. Not for long. 1 Yamato, 2 Yamato, 3 Yamato, 4, 5 Yamato, 6 Yamato, 7 Yamato. Thor. Top 40 hit. Alright. Some cyclones in the mix. A full wave of locusts. Gonna try to box out. They can't hit air units. The battle cruisers will take a chunk out of them, but all they need is a couple seconds on the... Maru's like, well, that did nothing. Let's go kill him. Here we go. That was a total waste of an entire locust wave from soO. I don't, like, he bought himself like 10 seconds, but here comes Maru. He's on the march. He's got 1-1 done, making the upgrades even. He's got a mech army. The tank's firing. A volley of corrosive bow hits one tank, but the battlecruiser's still going. He's still trying to counter battlecruisers with queens. How is that going? Ask the 11 queens who have yet to make it out. Or in the grave, rather. 66 to 81 workers. One battlecruiser looks like... No! Target fire, damn it! Oh my god! Ah! He won't lose them! The battlecruiser jump! Jump! He just refuses to... He hasn't lost a single cruiser. And now the Locust looking incredibly impotent, just like the Queens right now. Where are you going? What are you doing? Yep, those are Locusts. And they're gone. That was... He's got like 50 supply of swarm hosts here. And they're doing essentially nothing. Oh, corrosive bow knocks something down, but... Those battle cruisers repaired to full. 14 kills, 19 kills, 21, 4. That's a fresh cruiser. 0 kills. Another wave of locusts. Will these actually accomplish something? soO really needs to be... He's getting a little closer to the base. 1 tank. 2 tanks. That's something. Yamato's across the board. Corrosive Bile actually hits a battle cruiser. Now the swarm host starting to get some damage done. Roaches and Ravagers going to work. And actually the Cyclone's being whittled down here. soO's losing a lot as well. Remember, soO only has 64 drones, so he can't replace this incredibly well. And he doesn't have mules, which is another important point. soO is getting burnt down here. Maru's just rallying across the map. SCVs are transferring to base number 5. soO has another wave that should force Maru back for a moment. But more Yamatos come out. There's the battlecruisers. Power overwhelming. Maru just pounding his way through the power of the battlecruisers. It felt like that last game, more than any other, he just simply did not deal with the battlecruisers. He was trying to play around the big elephant cruiser in the room. Like, how are you going to do that? Swarm hosts? No. Swarm hosts are a no. Ravagers are a no. Queens are a not really. These units do not counter battlecruisers. The value, just incredible. And soO just not finding the answer. No neural parasite. Not really committing. Maru with a solid 3-0. Terran versus Zerg. Hopefully you enjoyed the match. Hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown. Thank you to Wardy for those replays. WESG 2019. Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe and all that bullshit. Thank you for watching. And good luck. Have fun.